Hey, friend, thank you so much for joining me today. I wanted to share with you all two concepts that I believe are very applicable to your home specifically. So, I have shared here that life is all about relationships, right? And part of those relationships is having people in your home, right? Having people over and being with those that you love in the space that you enjoy, in a space that they can enjoy together. And if you're also honest with yourself, a lot of most marriages, generally speaking, one spouse is an extrovert and loves the impromptu visits and the hangouts and having people over, the entertaining and caring for people at their home. And then sometimes, maybe this is you, there's no judgment, it's a safe place. Like maybe you're the introvert who is okay with just your family being in the house, and you're happy to have other people there, and it's good, and it can be fun, but it could be a lot of work. And regardless of what your preference is, there might be some ways of being in uh, helping both of you respect and care for one another, feel heard by one another, and also provide a space for the people that are coming into your home in a way that is actually restful for both of you. So, how can we have two different personalities? How can we have two different preferences? Also, allow for fellowship and relationship and memories in our house without it being a really crazy stressful event. So, uh, if you're anything like me, I also have three kids. So, generally speaking, our house is like always a mess because there's always a toy, there's always somebody's food or something on the floor or strewn about. And understandably, you know, it's fine to have some toys, but if we're like having people over, we like to have some level of like cleanliness just to be respectful, right? And that's not a bad thing, but it can cause a level of stress for both of us, and we can experience that stress differently. I can be okay with some Legos, but then M may not be okay with having the laundry basket in the corner of the room, right? Whereas if it's a certain friend, I'm okay with that being the reality, and vice versa. So it's really a matter of, are we clear on the language that we're using to actually reflect the space that we want to provide for the people that are coming in? So two words that could be really helpful in your marriage and in your home is knowing the difference between being hospitable and being entertaining. Both are good, both are fine, nothing wrong with either one. Not one has more preference than the other. It's simply a framing of sorts that can help both you and your partner align with the expectations of what is expected of both of you, of the home, even of the kids, and maybe the presentation of your world, so that you can actually care for and connect with the people that are coming in. So, what does it mean to be hospitable versus entertaining? Well, as you can imagine, being hospitable is a way of including somebody into your world. So if their bed's not made, if the laundry's all over the couch, if the dishes are in the sink, it's a way of saying to somebody, "Hey, I'm including you into my world. I'm going to me being a blessing to you, you being a blessing to me, is you seeing this. Is it Pinterest perfect? No. Is it even fun at times? Probably not. But you know, we haven't had the time to clean up. We haven't had the capacity to take care of things around the house. And so you are a priority to us, and we want to be a priority to you. So we're going to let you in. And by the way, not everybody needs to have this relationship with you and your family. Like there are certain people that will probably not be experiencing that in our house, and that's okay. And so, because not every relationship is created equally, it helps us know who are those people in our lives that, hey, they come over, don't care where the laundry is. Don't really care if the trash is full either. It's us wanting to include them in our rhythm in our life, and that person will probably also be wanting to see that in our rhythm and in our life. Like they want to know that the dishes are piled up. They want to see the reality that our kids have Legos everywhere, and you find them with your big toe, and it hurts really, really badly. And so, it's inviting, and providing the space to share the space in the condition that it is. That's what it means to be hospitable. It doesn't mean you can't be cleanly and you can't clean the dishes. It just means that if you're coming over and I'm in the middle of still washing the dishes, then great, you can help me dry them. It can look in a variety of ways of being hospitable versus, and this isn't to pit it against, but this is just to bring clarity to expectations more for your relationship and your home than anything else, is entertainment, which is also a blessing because in saying I want to entertain somebody, it's saying, hey, I want to bless somebody. Like the house will look a certain way. The flow and expect and the cleanliness or whatever will be a presentation of sorts because I want to bless you. I want to care for you. I will make dinner in a hospitality kind of way. Somebody's maybe bringing you dinner and showing up with a meal. And in an entertaining manner, it may be actually that you provide said meal. And so, and by the way, they can also interchange. Like you can entertain people and be hospitable and agree that some people bring, like these things are called potlucks, right? Like bring some food and bring a side dish and intertwine the two. That way, you or your partner aren't feeling stressed like you have to make food every time somebody comes over as the kids are going down to bed, or work needs to get done, or you're not able to be downstairs and because you have work to do and you have commitments to complete, and the other your spouse is actually able to be hospitable and just kind of be there with that your guests. So it literally helps us set expectations in our home so that we know what provides the vibe, the care, the community that we're wanting to experience with these relationships that are in our home, that are in our lives. And so just wanted to share, which one are you do you align with? Are you the person that's like, I find myself entertaining, the house has to be perfect, no bad, no judgment? Which side do you land on typically? I know for me, I can be very much a level of entertaining, but mostly a level of hospitable because I just don't care. Like it is what it is, in my opinion. Sometimes, like, the kids are stuff is everywhere. Well, that's great. Um, but then obviously whenever we have big celebrations, then of course I want to, clean it up and make it presentable. Um, but also being here in the South, I've also noticed that a lot of folks value the entertainment part, which is great and awesome. And it is a blessing to us and our family. And it seems to be a blessing to even those hosts that we go to. So it's not to knock on anyone. There's no one that's better than the other. Once you use language like this, it helps provide expectations and clarity as to what to expect for both you and others in your home. And so, which side do you land on? Which one is most uncomfortable for you? What are some ways that maybe you have found to include people in the hospitality? Like, have you been somebody who's like, yeah, no, I've invited people to help me fold my laundry, and no, I've helped, I've had people help vacuum my home. There are studies that show whenever you actually invite people into like your care of your home, like whenever the example I shared earlier about washing dishes and me asking somebody to dry the dishes for me, it actually shows, like studies have shown that there's actually a level of intimacy and connection that happen that wouldn't generally take place so quickly if you didn't give them that opportunity to be invited into that process, because it's just so intimate, so personal, and it provides just a level of connection that is very different than, hey, let me give you a very nice fine white dish with some very nicely presented food on it, right? It's a very different vibe. Not better, not worse, just different. And so it's literally just helping us create these moments that matter to us, matter in our home, and matter in the relationships in our lives. And it starts with us as a couple having clarity of what those expectations are so that we can experience that with each other, ourselves, and our guests. Being hospitable and being entertaining. Which do you relate to? How have you been hospitable? How have you been entertaining in the past? How's that looked like? If you have some ideas, share them below, and I can't wait to see them. Thanks again.